So I am glad to be live today. A lot has been happening on social media, so I just thought it wise that I should come on live. So let's chat for a bit. When you see me live, you know I have a concern. Usually I like to think aloud. So I am here to think aloud. As you can see, the video is titled Unrealistic Beauty Standards. When you join the live, you do well to like the video and do well to share. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, do well to subscribe. If you have not subscribed to my page, do well to subscribe. You all are welcome to Contemporary Views. On Contemporary Views, we discuss trends, we discuss news that is trending on social media. Now I am broadcasting over here on Facebook and over here on YouTube. So if you find me tilting either to the left or the right, I hope you can understand that that is simply because I am broadcasting on two separate phones. So thank you so much for joining. I just need a moment for me to share my life and then we can begin. Let's talk about unrealistic beauty standards. I am led to bring this topic, or I am led to talk about this because of what we all are seeing on social media. For those of you who know Nigerian superstar, movie actress Mercy Johnson, she's lost so much weight over a very short period of time. I want to believe that it is as a result of some of these beauty standards that we have today around, which are not doing justice to us. Okay, so I am trying to share my life. Once I'm done sharing my life, we can dive into the topic because this life is going to be very short. I just have a couple of things to say. You are welcome. Thank you for joining my live. When you join, you like the video. Hi there. You're welcome to my live. I just need a minute or two to share my life. When you join in, like the video. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you so much. Where are you joining in from? Let me know where you're joining in from. Thank you all so much for joining. When you join, do well to like the video. Like the video. If you're not yet subscribed, do well to subscribe. All right. I just need 2 more minutes so I can share my life. Hi there, you all are welcome to Contemporary Views. My name is Gillian and this is Contemporary Views. On Contemporary Views, we discuss trends. Everything that is trending on social media, we get to say a thing or two about it. I'm broadcasting somewhere in Africa. Thank you so much. Kuku TV show, you're welcome to my live. I don't think you're following my channel yet. Do well to follow, do well to like the video, and do well to share. Thank you all so much for joining my live. And now let's begin the show. All right. Now there are beauty standards that I term them unrealistic beauty standards. Okay, they are unrealistic because I don't get to understand why people will go to that length. I don't get to understand why people will have to go to that length just to make them to beautify themselves. Okay, now women have eyelashes. Thank you so much. Kuku TV show, you're welcome to my life. I don't think you're following my channel yet. Give me a moment. Do well to like it. Women. Okay, thank you so much. Kuku TV, I am somewhere in Africa. Do well to like the video when you join. So let's talk about unrealistic beauty standards that women practice today. Before today, I had come out to talk about unrealistic beauty standards. When I talked about the surgeries that are very much around, the women try to, go under the knife just because they want to beautify themselves. And then I began to wonder that why are women going this length? Why will women just, delve into surgery just because of the looks? Then I began to find out that some of these women have low self-esteem. Yes, they don't feel too comfortable in their bodies. Okay, that is very much understandable. And if you don't feel too confident in your body, it's not wrong for you to, find a solution or try to make you yourself feel comfortable. But then it becomes problematic when we go to extra length, just like I earlier mentioned, unrealistic beauty standards. Now you should know that beauty standards range from people to people, from race to race, all right? And I want to believe that this is without insulting and respectfully. I want to believe that the Asians have the most difficult, the most extreme beauty standards, because something as little as being fat to the Asian community, you are out. You're not one of them. So it makes it looks a little bit challenging to be beautiful in an environment like that. So why I am led to do this video today is because there is this lady. She's an actress. She's very famous. She's very popular in the Nigerian scene. And she much for joining my live. You're welcome. Melvis, you're welcome. She's moved from 22 or 24 maybe to a size of that in less than 2 months. The world of music. Thank you for joining my live. If you're just joining in, my name is Jillian and this is Contemporary Views. Reviews, we discuss trends. Okay, everything that is making news, we try to talk about it and of course take lessons home. Okay. So like I was mentioning here, the beauty standards that women of today practice are somewhat extreme. Okay, and I'm using a case study. She's a Nigerian actress. Her name is Mercy Johnson. For those of you who don't know her, you can just check her up on Facebook or on YouTube and you see lots and lots of her movies there. She's a very prominent person. She just moved from a 24, a size 24 or 22 to be a size 4 or 6. The weight loss was drastic. And then I began to ask questions as usual. What is going on? I don't get to understand. Why would someone just lose all the weight she has in less than 2 months? It's not like she was on a weight loss journey that the world knew about. No, people were just surprised to see that she just lost a lot of weight. She's no longer herself. She's now beginning to look like she's suffering from some form of ailment because the weight loss is just too much. And watching other blogs report on this, I began to see things that made me to come up today with this video. For instance, I saw a couple of ladies suggesting that her weight loss may be due to some medications that she may have taken to lose weight. And then when I began to delve in to discover even more, I now realized that there is a certain group of medications that are being taken by obese people to treat obese related diseases. But now it has become the new trend among young women, since they no longer have the discipline to eat right, to exercise, or to diet for a list. They now go into hospitals, they purchase these drugs, and then begin to administer these drugs so that they can lose weight, even if they don't try. It is appalling how people will go that far. Just a quick reminder, I am not a medical personnel, but I think with the presence of the internet and other search engines, we can have informations if we try to find them. If someone is sick and they run to the hospital and then they get diagnosed and they are being treated for certain ailments, that's because the doctor has decided or has diagnosed that patient, and then he is giving the appropriate treatment for that condition. How does something like an appropriate treatment for a particular condition now degenerate to a beauty standard or a means to achieve a beauty standard? First of all, say 2-3 years back, all the women wanted to look the same. They wanted to look like ants. You know, ants have a midsection that is really tiny, a butt that is really big, and a chest that is really big, like a bug. That's how they wanted to all look like, especially black women. They all wanted to do that. That now brought the emergence of the Brazilian butt lift and whatsoever, all those surgeries they call. They began investing lots of money to look like ants. Big chest, very tiny waist, and then very big butt, and then very tiny legs underneath. They all wanted to look similar, and they call that slim thick. It was very dangerous because I did a couple of videos. I did one still last year. I did another one maybe 2 years back. You can just check. For those of you on YouTube, you can check my older videos and you'll see a video titled Dr. Anu. Dr. Anu used to run a clinic in Nigeria where she ran some of those procedures and there were casualties. It actually made news because there were casualties. There were people who went there and did not make it out. They did not make it out. And she is not the only one. There are other victims, or there are prominent superstars around the world who have bowed out of this world because they were looking for solutions, aka unrealistic beauty standards. Now, this lady I'm talking about today, her name is Mercy Johnson. And she is a mother of 4 children. If you want to look at this lady, you would not say that she was actually fat. She really looked nice. For a mother of 4, she looked great. Why would I have to remove my makeup? Stop being jealous. You don't have to be jealous, okay? Sorry. Do well to like the video. I need you to like the video. Type in, tell me where you're joining in from. You know, let's be interactive here. Thank you so much. Okay. Now, like I was saying, Mercy Johnson she's really beautiful. The way she is, she looked great. But she had to go to the extent where it's been suggestive, because after her weight loss, she came out to advertise her slim tea, and that she had been on her slim tea for quite a while now. But when you look at her before and her after picture, it tells a different story. And people who have consumed certain kind of drugs to lose weight began to bring a narrative that there are this group of drugs, aka weight loss drugs, to treat obese patients. Some school of thought suggests that she's been on these drugs as well so that she can lose weight rapidly, because what actually happens when you take these drugs, you lose appetite, you go without food for days. All right. These drugs are not made to lose weight. They are made for treatment when diagnosed of obesity related diseases. But our women of today have entered into these hospitals or clinics and begin to consume these medications. I don't know where they are driving to. Now, when we were much younger, we would hear that somebody dies of cancer maybe in their 80s and 90s or 70s. But today we have people who are in their 20s and 30s and they suffer from cancers. The worst kind of cancers, pancreatic cancer, we have young ladies suffering from those things. Now, when it comes to unrealistic beauty standards, I look at some of the things they do in the name of beauty and I ask questions. There are clinics where you go there to take what they call cocktails. Cocktails are voluntary drip-like substances. They're in bags. You get them injected into your body and then you stay there for a couple of hours. I don't know what those cocktails are, but you hear they say cocktails, they say vitamins, they say whatever. They call it whatever they call, I don't know. But they get stuff, some kind of substances injected into their bodies through perfusions. These things I group them or I call them unrealistic beauty standards because I don't get it. You are healthy, you're fine, but you want to have perfusion. What happened to the food you eat? So you get your vitamins from them. What happened to pills? Before now, I see people popping pills here and there. This is vitamin A, vitamin whatever. But they no longer want to pop pills. Now they want to start having perfusions in the place of pills. All of these things have consequences. And of course, these consequences are not beautiful. It is true that you are looking to be beautiful, but I want to believe that the consequences will not be beautiful. Now, everybody is dragging Mercy Johnson on social media that she must say what she has done for her to be able to lose over 50 kilos in a month or two. People should be in her DM, especially the women. I know they will be in her DM for her to disclose what she has done so that they too can go about it. Why can we not just learn to study our bodies? Why should we go that length just because we want to be termed beautiful? There is nothing wrong with you being fat. People take offense when you tell someone they are fat. They say you are body shaming them. Being fat is not body shaming. Being fat simply means you eat too much. You eat much more than you need. And if you have to control your eating, there is very high probability that you would shed some weight. What makes you fat are the extra calories that are being stored in your body. So if you feed in such a way that you don't store extra calories, I don't see how you grow fat. Now, for the Westerners, they understand this rule from a very young age. They mind what they eat and they mind how they eat in the first place. That is why it is possible for them to remain slender from birth right up to an advanced age of, say, 50 or 60. They don't gain weight because they understand what they put into their body. African women and African folk should understand that Weight also has a lot to do with genes. Secondly, feeding. We eat a lot back home in Africa. We eat a lot, especially my Nigerian people. When they want to eat, you see several pieces of meat in that food. You see very huge sums of gari or semo or fufu. They eat well. When you eat very well, it shows. It shows on your body. You project the food that you take in. So there is no way for you to remain slender if you cannot control your eating habits. Some people diet. That is a good start. Some people just decide to have a lifestyle change. Perfect solution. But going for surgery and ingesting of medications that have not been prescribed to you is deadly. It could be fatal. You may be doing that thinking you're doing the right thing because you're desperate. I watched a show yesterday, the same topic, the same lady was being used as case study. Still under that life, there was a lady there asking for her contact so that she could contact her and get whatever she used to lose that much weight. On that same live show, a doctor came on board to talk about those drugs, those medications rather. I don't want to mention the medications because I want to believe that most of you out there already know. These medications are taking life. There was a lady came on to ask for the number so that she could get those medications as well. So no matter what we say here, people just want to lose weight, they're desperate about it, and they are willing to do what it takes to lose that weight. There is nothing wrong with you losing weight. The way you do it is of essence. On a more serious note, I want to believe that we all need to prioritize our health. In as much as we don't want to be fat, we don't have to break ourselves, break our organs down just because we want a particular solution. If you ask me, to what extent, I'll tell you women are willing to go to any extent just to achieve the standard of beauty that they so desire. They can go to any extent to do that. Now, the bigger question is, when the consequences of your actions come, will you blame anybody? Because you don't expect to take medications when you're not sick. I don't know what you'll be treating. Treating weight gain? Is that it? When the consequences come, what will you be doing with yourself? Will you be blaming people? At first, it was bleaching. People used all kinds of soaps, all kinds of bleaching cream. But now it has evolved. They no longer use bleaching creams and bleaching soaps. They have now graduated to using cocktail mixtures. Yes. They mix up all the bleaching, whatever, and then inject it into your body. What the hell? At 30, And 40, your organs start failing because of the use of all kinds of chemicals in the name of beauty. But for those of you wanting to copy everything you see on social media, it is a risk to do so. And some of these risks could be fatal. Yes. So be mindful of the things you copy on social media. Be mindful of the things you wish for. And to you, actress Mercy Johnson, I cannot question whatever you have done to yourself because you are an adult. I don't know what you did, but that was damn fast. And I don't think it is the best way. Whatever you are doing, I want to believe that you have done more than enough. Maybe let it go at this point. Let it go at this point. Imagine someone who used to be size 24 or so, or 22, now down to size 6. That's just too much. Too much. All that in 1 month. So ladies, I am speaking particularly to the girls. Ladies, you are beautiful the way you are. Size really doesn't matter. Even if you are big, you know that if you control your diet and you exercise consistently, you're going to see results. You don't need to take medications to achieve that. You don't need to go under the knife to achieve all of that. It's all a question of choice. If you see that that is what you want and you can afford it, fine by me, so be it. But you don't have to break the bank, excuse me, just to look beautiful. Be beautiful in your skin, in your size, in your own way. You are beautiful. Be confident. Even myself, I have gained a lot of weight. I used to be a size 8, but I am now 14. But I'm not going to hang myself because of that. No. I make efforts that sometimes are futile because I don't get to lose any weight sometimes. But I keep hoping that someday I'll get to my ideal goal. But I am not willing to unalive myself just because I want to look nice. Just because I want to be beautiful, I am not ready to unalive myself. You know, this life is just so sweet. Life is just so beautiful for me to lose out of it just because I made a mistake resulting from a beauty standard that is not approved. Why would you even want to have people tell you how you look? Why would you even believe that? Well, just like I have said, some of our beauty standards these days are just not for us. Let's be mindful of the things we do with our bodies. Let's be mindful of the things we ingest just because we want to look good. Let's be mindful, because for every action that you take, there is an equal reaction. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining my live. Thank you very much for joining my live on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you all so much. I'd like to ask you to watch the beginning because I said a lot from the beginning. If you recently saw or to my page, thank you so much for subscriptions. Thank you for the likes and thank you for the shares. Very, very soon. Thank you all so much. Bye, Facebook. Bye, YouTube.